Big-time stakes as we approach the end of the season. Bowl positioning, playoff spots, all on the table, but only if you find a way to win. Navy ready for kickoff as we get this game started. Fielded in the end zone, it's Bitonio. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. The Irish offense will take the field to start this game. So the last time these two got together, the nails were chewed down to the cuticles. It was a barn burner. Think we get another one of those, Jesse?
I certainly hope so, Reese. And I know that mental toughness is very cliche in all of sports, especially college football. And David, it's something that coaches are always harping on. But this is one of those games. The team that's most mentally tough at the end, they probably win.
Especially in rivalry games, especially in big moments, especially when there's more to it than just a game. So I think that this is something that who can focus, who can stay disciplined, who can stay tough and keep and block out all the noise.
Notre Dame now facing 3rd and inches. Tries to slither forward on the sneak. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down.
And David, on 3rd and inches right there, that's often a decision the quarterback predetermines. Who's my best guard? That's the guy I'm going to try to get behind.
And I know that defensively too, but I'm just trying to dive and create a pile, but it's so hard to stop that play. That's why you see it ran so successful.
And he runs through one tackle and picks up a few.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on 1st down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
Fires to the big fella. At the 45 on his way. Across the 50-yard line on the huge pickup, and he's out of bounds at the 45. That throw and catch, a really good example of why coaches don't want a quarterback to get stuck on a particular target, isn't it, David?
Yep, that's exactly right. Find the guy who's open because you got so many guys that have so much speed that can do so much damage on the field. Find my matchup, get it to him, let him do the rest.
Notre Dame trying to keep this drive moving on 2nd and short. Trying play action. And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
You get 5 sacks in a game the way this defense did last week, and it's going to make your offensive coordinator second-guess himself a little bit with respect to protections. I'm not sure how confident this offense is early in the game because they've already given up a sack.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Fires to the middle. A strike downfield. And this defense is a half a beat behind. They just can't quite keep up. They've got it down to the 21. Notre Dame coming to the line with another 1st down. Use the play fake. Now to throw. It's complete to the right. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, Notre Dame!
That touchdown just got this whole place going, didn't it? You got everybody doing the Irish jig. Touchdown, Jesus is happy. You got the leprechaun, he's dancing. The energy in this place right now is on another level after that score. No wonder this is such a tough place to come in and try to get a win on the road.
He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. The Mids offense will go to work for the first time today. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. They'll leave it with him. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. You know what I really like about games like this at this point in the season? You find out who you are. You find out whether you're going to stay in the race.
And who can step up and handle the challenge, right? This is easily one of the toughest games to date for both of these programs coming into this one. So there's a lot of eyeballs, David, on this game to find out who's mentally and emotionally the toughest.
Yeah, and we're going to point to this game as we get later in the year and big decisions are made. You've got a top 25 win. You beat them in the middle of the season, X, Y, and Z, so these are big for the resume.
Breaking down. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf. Navy will have to punt it away. Getting our first look of the afternoon at the punter. He was working his way on the return toward midfield. They'll stop him at the 46. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Here come the Irish, back on offense. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Rush is on him. Grabbed over the middle. It's Flanagan. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. Guys, let's talk for a minute about Notre Dame. They've made it to the middle of the season, #1 team in the land, but now's when you have to work on staying there.
Yeah, it's been a really, really good start. Impressed with them, impressed with offense, defense, special teams, complete unit so far. But Jesse, 7 games in, we ain't crowning a national champion.
No doubt about it. And listen, they've looked good for most of the first half of the year. Obviously, that's why they've got that number beside their name now. But when you're the #1 team, all that means is the games get bigger and bigger as you go. So still lots of meat on the bone for this team.
Chopping up this defense, and they've got it all the way down to the 23.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on 3rd down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is, and you saw it right there on that play.
They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Gets away from one. Not much of a chance there. He just had to get rid of it to avoid the sack.
Well, he did what he was coached to do, and he threw it away, but you can see he's frustrated with himself. He knows he's one of the fastest quarterbacks in the country, and I think he's wishing he had that play back, because he might have been able to take off and scramble, and who knows what could have happened for the offense.
And he just overshot his man and threw it out of bounds, incomplete. And they'll send out the field goal unit. And he'll need a little distance and accuracy, a 42-yarder from the left hash. Between the uprights, it's good. And that lead grows even bigger. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Big one this week in the SEC. Heck, they're all big ones in that conference. Ole Miss is down, but they are not out of it. Not when that crowd spent the morning in the Grove getting ready for this one. Let's see how those fans impact the rest of this game. It's less than a touchdown lead. They're trailing by 6 to Arkansas. We'll keep an eye on things until the final horn in a game that could shake things up a bit in the SEC.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. That play looked as if it had a chance to be productive, but the open field tackle stopped it.
And it's tough to get a running back one-on-one on the ground in the open field. You want guys swarming to the football to try to make that play, but understand that guy's a weapon. Good job by the defense seeing it, breaking on the football, getting them on the ground.
Guys, we've come to the end of the quarter, and Notre Dame has the lead. And they were able to build that lead into double figures. Let's take a quick look at our early stats before we move on. So they go back to work after the break, and it is 3rd down. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. They make the stop, but not before he picks up a 1st down for Navy.
Nice job by this offense converting the 3rd down. Listen, 3rd and short, they know you're going to run the football, and they still did a great job being physical. 3rd downs has been such a struggle for this offense. Bottom 50, one of the worst in college football. Nice job on that play.
He gets it past the 25-yard line and finally knocked out of bounds at the 27.
That's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down, the defense thinks you might be running the football. You still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running.
This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
Playing the option, man, consistently playing responsibility football. Nice job by the defense being where they're supposed to be. This option will just keep giving it to you over and over and over again, and you got to pass those tests.
Hand off from the shotgun. He did not make it a stone wall on third down.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
And with this place rocking, the crowd forces a false start.
False start on offense.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Navy will have to punt it away. Working his way on. Up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. They've got the lead here. Last time they settled for a field goal, but David got to find that balance between being aggressive and careful.
And I think they'll take that. I got the lead, Palmer. I got the football. I got to take care of the football, put a nice drive together, and just get some kind of points on this drive.
No doubt. Lots to be happy about right now if you're this team. I think for this one, though, on this drive, it's about finding the one-on-one matchups that are in your favor and then exploiting them.
And they're not on the same page there.
I think for the quarterback, he's going to have to be so good with his eyes in this game. You're going up against one of the best defenses in the country. You've got to look guys off, especially when you're trying to throw to your primary target like he was on that last one.
This defense will try to force a fourth down on third and short from the 45. From the gun, wants to pass. He lofts it high and deep down the left side. And that ball is intercepted at the goal line. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back. And here comes the Navy offense. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. Had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. From his end zone, a lot of room to throw downfield. Forced out of the pocket. Just gets rid of the football, nobody to throw it to. It'll be second down.
But how loud is it in this building? This is crazy. These fans are going absolutely nuts. And I used to love when the fans got involved, and I'm on defense because it messes with the snap count, it messes with the communication, and it can really rattle an offense.
The pass didn't work last time. It might this time. Pressure got to him, couldn't get rid of it, and they got him for a safety.
Oh, and how about this defense? Understanding where they are in the field, they got a chance to put points on the board, and they do.
Here come the Irish, back on offense. The defense made a play with that interception to set them up. Now to see if they can cash it in. Looking to throw on first down. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Wants to go up top. Quickly out to the tight end. They make the stop right at the 30-yard line, but it's a 10-yard pickup and a first down. New set of downs after the completion. To the air on first down. Got a man. It's James. They finally get to him. What a play there to pick up the first down.
How about this offense? They're rolling. They got a couple first downs together. Defense. Next, what's your response? What do you got? You got to make some adjustments here.
Wants to throw it. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
Timing has got to be so critical when you're trying to throw the ball down close like that. They didn't have great timing on that one.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Back to pass. Looking for the score. It falls incomplete. He was trying to find his man for 6.
Well, the defense is making some big plays here right up against their own goal line. They forced 2 straight incompletions, now setting up third down. You're expecting pass again. Is this a situation where they're going to want to blitz, or do they stay back, play zone, and try to break on the ball?
They'll try to pass it in on 3rd and goal. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. Fired in from the red zone for the score. They've extended the lead and taken control here in Week 9.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was, we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not, so being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
They go to the ground. Bound to... Running room knocked down at the 24 after a pickup of 4.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20 yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
Navy quick to the line. They'll move the tight end.
The defense has got to do a better job.
Oh, he just handled it poorly, and it's a fumble. Defense covering it up and not letting the offense get it back. It's a turnover.
Hey, you know what's really easy? It's easy to say, hey, quarterback, run out there, pitch off of that guy, and now your running back gets to go play one-on-one with somebody else. It's got to all work timing-wise, and the defense did a great job flying up, nowhere to go, make the play, make him make a quick decision, and you get the fumble and recover in the backfield.
You'd love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
We're at the 2-minute timeout. They've built a big lead, and they'll try to pile on a little more before the break. The Irish come to the line facing 2nd and short. Right back to it. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Things look great with that field position a few plays ago, but now it's 3rd and 6. From the gun, wants to pass. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. Going the other way, and he's got room. 10. Touchdown, midshipman. The defense gets it done with that huge interception return.
I love this free safety and how he plays center field, and oftentimes he's able to bait QBs into bad decisions. He did it right there. Made the quarterback think he was dropping one way, put his foot in the ground, got in front of that pass, and then showed you the wheels, returning it for a touchdown.
He'll bring it out. It's Batonio. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Plenty of time to work. Not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. Working that left side. Gets it out to the 27-yard line, and they'll move the chains for a first down.
And that's a really good example of why offensive coordinators script plays. You know the down and distance, and you know which routes can get you to the stick. So there's no wasted time. That coordinator got the play in early to his quarterback, knowing that his players were going to be able to execute.
Looking downfield on first down. Firing to the right, complete. Gets it to the 46-yard line. First down for this offense.
Well, that's a great job by the quarterback there, not panicking, right? Because you know it's a blitz, and trust me, you know you're going to get blasted, but you keep reading coverage, and you find your check down throw, get it out of your hands, and pick up the first down.
Fires to the right. And it's picked off for the third time today. Bringing it back. He goes out of bounds, but what a play to create a sudden change opportunity. They'll get a chance to work on that hurry-up offense here in the final minute of the first half. They'll run it from the gun. Got enough for the first. Really good surge for this offense. They move the chains, and he's got it at the 34. They're going to go right back to him on first down. The offense calls a timeout to stop the clock.
And, man, it's nice to have a guy that is just better than your guys. And no matter what play you call, man, how about him getting in the backfield quick, penetrating, using his quickness, and using his strength to get him to the ground. That is a baller.
He's got him in the flat. He's run out of bounds, and they'll say he stepped out at the 27.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
Back to throw, it's Hill. Makes the grab. He steps out of bounds, but he's got enough for a first down.
Well, that play was designed for that down and distance, right? You saw how he barely got enough to pick up the first. Really nice job by the play caller there, understanding the situation and what play to dial up.
Nobody open, he just throws it away, and it'll bring up second down.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Yeah, and you don't see very many quarterback hits on screens. You know, the offense wants to bluff real quick and make it look like pass, and the quarterback's supposed to pop up, look like pass, and quickly get rid of it. You could tell timing all wrong. It was all jacked up, and that play went absolutely nowhere.
We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. And in the closing moments of the first half, they'll try to put a three-spot on the board. This whole play is going to see if this kicker can operate in the sea of noise. It's good. He could have hit a string right in the middle of the uprights there. The lead is now back down to 9. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update. Ready to go here in the second half, and Notre Dame will kick it away. He'll start the return inside his 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. And Navy will go back on the attack. Trailing by a couple of scores, they'd like to generate some confidence here early in the third quarter. Oh, he's got some space. Good, solid pickup on that one. They've got it out to the 40, and it's first down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Starting this drive like that is exactly what they'd hoped for. Now first and 10 from the 40. He's going to run it. Turns it on in midfield. Stop is made at the 44, but it's a 15-yard gain and a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Leaves it with the back. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
The coaching staff defensively, they harp on this unit to be more physical, to fly to the football and gang tackle. You're seeing all of that in this game. That's why they're one of the best run defenses in the nation.
Fires to the tight end. Makes the grab almost to the first down marker, but a good pickup on that one.
Well, you hear all the time that the tight end's the QB's best friend. You saw a perfect example of it on that last play, right? Second down, you need to pick up some positive yards to keep this third down manageable. Really nice job of executing that.
You want to talk about shaking down thunder from the sky. That's what they're doing here on third down. And they did not let him get to that first down line. It'll bring up a call here.
Another tough run for this offense, and I think a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now is they just haven't been able to get this guy going. They've tried to give him the ball a lot. It just hasn't paid off, but you get the feeling, too, if they are going to crawl back in this one.
Makes the grab past the marker. Inside the 20-yard line, pushed out at the 18, and they're in business. Really good job there. Don't force anything. Take your time, and he finds his man for the first down.
Yeah, and I think really good job by seeing the defense. Understand that they're dropping back. They're taking away most things. All right, get the ball to my running back. He can make plays after he catches it. Nice job by the quarterback seeing the situation and where to go with the football.
Man, this defense has their hands full today because not only do they have to worry about the running backs and not only do they have to worry about the passing game, they've got to worry about this quarterback running the football because of plays like that. Not a huge explosive play, but he showed you the athleticism. He showed you he has the ability to hurt you with his legs.
He's all the way down to the 3. An electric run has him set up.
And another nice gain by the offense. All right, defense. We got to change something up here. They're putting a big drive together, play after play, having a lot of success. How do we break the rhythm? How do we give them something that can create a tackle for a loss or a sack or something to get momentum back on my side?
Trying to pound their way in. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And this offense knew coming into the game, when they get to the red zone, it's going to be tough sledding because it's hard to run, especially against this physical defense. They're one of the top 5 defenses stopping the run. And you know at this area of the field, it's really tough to throw it. Let's see who the more physical side is.
Scanning the field, it's Green. He's going for the goal line. That completion has them right on the doorstep. They'll mark it at the 1. Notre Dame always comes up with these kind of backers, guys like Bob Golick who just find their way to the football. Second tackle for loss there.
And I just think of physical, smart, tough guys that are right in the middle of the defense, that are firing and shooting through gaps and understanding what's coming, getting in the backfield.
And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Navy!
Love the quick decision-making by the quarterback. It's not just who's the open guy and who am I throwing it to. It's also having that clock, David, in your head that says, if no one's open and I'm down near the red zone, I'm taking off now and I'm using my athleticism and I'm getting a score.
Yeah, you love the decision-making. I hate the defense. Why are we dropping back so far in the end zone? We got to keep eyes on this QB. We know he can take off. We know he can make plays. The field shrinks, man. You got to coming. Not very good defense.
On to attempt the try. And the PAT will draw them 1 point closer. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Tough to beat in action, gentlemen. You know that. And let's take a look at the highlights. Bowling Green is currently trailing in this one, but it feels like the tide may be turning. This program has picked itself up before, and it's capable of it again today. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Akron. The Maction never sleeps, and we'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final.
That's a great example of the defense there tackling the catch. As soon as the big fella caught the ball, down he went, not picking up the first.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Looking to fire. Unloads to the wideout. That's caught. It's Dalton. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line. 1st and 10. The give on the option. Breaks the tackle.
You just sense the frustration starting to build, not only on offense, but I think with this running back as well. He is so talented. He's had some massive games throughout his career. Just haven't been able to get him going early in this game. That was a pretty good run there. Let's see if he can turn it on here in the second half.
And they'll stop him after a minimal pickup.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down, and they got to keep that up here in the second half.
Notre Dame lining up to punt it away. He ought to be able to use his first punt to pin him deep. His first one of the day gave that leg a workout 5 times in last week's victory. That thing was down for a while, but the big bounce carried it into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. They'll send the back in motion. Good, solid, determined run there. They'll mark him down at the 27. We've come to the end of the period, and Notre Dame has the lead. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. It'll be second down as we open the final stanza. To the ground with the back. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
How about the job by this defense today? They knew what they were getting into. A really good running back. We talked to him this week. It was the main focus point of this offense. Stopping the run game, stopping the run game. Boy, have they showed up and showed out and answered that challenge.
And you want to know what impact home field advantage can have? There it is. The offense will walk it back.
False start on offense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. The volley cheers going on high, and here comes the Thunder being shaken down on third down. Got it set up on the outside, and that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning. Navy will have to punt it away. He was working his way toward midfield, but they'll stop him at the 46-yard line. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. They weren't able to move it on their last possession, ended up punting it away, but now in a tight game, another opportunity for this offense. And he'll lose yardage on this play, loses 2 yards. Great job by the defense.
You just got to wonder how frustrated this guy is, especially after the success he had their last game out, but just nothing going in this one. He has not been able to get himself into a rhythm. There have been way too much penetration up front defensively. They've been able to stop him in his tracks.
That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
And it's been a struggle for the run game for this offense. Man, this is something they hang their hat on. You saw last week, you saw the highlights, and just give it to the running back. Let him do his thing. Haven't been able to get him going. I don't know what's going on, but they got to find a way to get their talented back some space so he can make some plays.
On third and long, no secret what he needs here. The short hands, it's James. Getting closer and closer. Field out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 47. The Irish send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. The ball hits at the 5, and it'll go into the end zone for a touchback. And the midshipman offense making its way back onto the field. Things had not gone the way they had planned, but maybe an opportunity to salvage this bumpy ride so far and avoid the upset. Stopped at the 25 after a 5-yard gain.
Man, it's nice when you can depend on your big boys up front to make a lane, and you get 5 or 6 yards. You get 5 or 6 yards a pop. You move the ball down the field easily, and more importantly, can get this defense to be more aggressive, to bring DBs closer to the line of scrimmage, and then that might open up some big plays down the field.
You got to give this defense credit because they have bottled this guy up all game long. He's one of the best running backs in all of college football. Everybody was expecting him to have a big one today. Don't tell that to this defense, though. They played with great effort. They've gotten hats to the football.
Sprinting away. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down.
And that's why if you're the offensive coordinator, you've got to find as many ways as possible to get this guy going. Just get him the ball close to the line of scrimmage. Doesn't need to be a throw deep down the field. He's so dynamic when he has the ball in his hands. You saw it right there.
The give to the tailback. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. He'll pull it on the read. He gets the job done, picking up the first down, then getting down.
Sometimes as a quarterback, you just need to take the game over yourself. You need points to win, and it's going to come down to you throwing it or maybe running it like you just saw there to get that done.
Here's the handoff. Not much to show for it. This defense has kept them bottled up all day. Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Finds his tight end. Good pickup, a little bit short of the sticks.
And we haven't called his name a lot, and I think this offense, they need to find a way to continue to manufacture touches for the big tight end. And I don't care how you do it. I don't care where you line him up. He's that good, and if I'm this offense, I'm going to find him more often.
Navy now facing 3rd and short. Back to pass, it's Hill. Finds the tight end. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the first down.
Man, this is such a hard situation. That clock is your enemy, and you've got to push the ball down the field. But you know the defense is dropping back, so you can take the underneath stuff and go to your 2nd and 3rd read some, but we got to stay aggressive.
He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Caught over the middle. It's Smith. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll make some adjustments.
Man, this quarterback is going to have to be deadly accurate here in this 2-minute situation, right? And that's really what he's had to be all game long. He hasn't had a lot of yards because the coverage has just been so tight. He's had to be pinpoint perfect. It's been hard just to find completions, no doubt. It's going to be the same thing here in this 2-minute drill.
They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's 1st and goal from the 7.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. The quarterback takes a knee. This is the football equivalent of throwing in the towel or no mas, as they will concede defeat. And a second kneel down as they drain the clock, and the field goal kicker will come on with a chance to win it. So on 4th down, here comes the field goal kicker in a huge spot. Nerves of steel right down the boulevard on the game-winning chip shot. What a game. We had a furious fight all the way to the final ticks, and that one is going to be remembered forever.
And I think when you're the #1 team in the country, you're coming in expecting to win. You're the favorites. Everybody's talking about you. You have all the momentum. You're the loved college football team in all of the land. to come in today. They played a competitive game, Jesse, but that's an inferior opponent they just lost to.
That's true. They've got to be more consistent moving forward. As